Good evening. What's going on, pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world? Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I am your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So I wanted to get on here and give my review of AEW WrestleDream 2025. Finally got around to finishing it, so I wanted to hop on here and give my review of it. So, a couple of things. This was apparently another situation where the Saturday tailgate brawl wasn't necessarily a pre-show, but it was on a separate episode of Collision, which I did not see. So I do apologize for that. But for the sake of that, I'll go ahead and let you know as far as the other Saturday tailgate brawl matches, the outcomes. So just to quickly go over it, the Death Riders were able to defeat the Conglomeration. That match was 15 minutes, 53 seconds. Eddie Kingston and Hook defeated the Frat House. That was a quick match, apparently. 3 minutes, 21 seconds. Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale defeated the Top Gods, which was Megan Bain, Penelope Ford. That was a 12-minute, 13-second match. And then I want to go ahead and transition to the next match, which started off as Tailgate Brawl and it went into the main card. So very interesting transition. But before we get to that, let me just remind everybody that AEW WrestleDream 2025 took place this past Saturday, the 18th, and it was at the Chafez Arena in St. Louis, Missouri. Please forgive me if I mispronounce that. But let's go ahead and jump right into the review. Let me get my graphics out. And we'll get right to it. Here we go. First up. So this started off as part of the Saturday Tailgate Brawl, and then it transitioned into the main card and was still going. But anyway, you had a tag team match between FTR, that's Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, versus Jet Speed, Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight. It was actually a very solid match, back and forth. Went 12 minutes, 19 seconds, but it was definitely a hard-hitting back and forth match. I mean, Jet Speed continues to show their great chemistry, and they definitely brought the fight to FTR. But I think a big thing about it that really led to the turning point of this match was, of course, Stokely Hathaway, of course, being in the corner of FTR was really the main thing that made pretty much the big difference, or not so much the big difference, but really contributed to the outcome of this match. But pretty much Speedball Mike Bailey was trying to suplex Dax Harwood from on the apron back into the ring, and pretty much transitioned into a pin in the middle of the suplex motion. Dax had Mike Bailey pinned. Stokely held down Speedball's feet so he couldn't kick out or anything like that. Or actually, it was more so of a leverage pin where, now that I think about it, Stokely had Dax's legs, holding them down for leverage, and was able to get the 1-2-3 on Speedball Mike Bailey. With Stokely's help, FTR are your winners. Not too surprised there. I mean, I know Jet Speed looked pretty disappointed after that loss, but to be honest, I mean, I felt like FTR winning made the most sense, and I'm not surprised. So, it is what it is. But, pretty dang on good match overall. You know, I can't say that I really had much complaints with that match. Alrighty, let's go to our next match. Alright, we had ourselves a singles match between the Toxic Spider Thekla and Jamie Hayter, who returned not too long ago. It was really cool to see both these ladies go at it. And they actually had a good amount of time. Went 15 and a half minutes long. So, hey, kudos on them giving both these ladies plenty of time. And also, shout out to Charlie Thez, who was in attendance, front row, who is the wife of the late, great Lou Thez. And she even got a chance to kind of interact a little bit in this match. But it was a good back and forth match between Thekla and Jamie Hayter. You know, I like both ladies. Both ladies are really strong. You got a really something good going there with Thekla and that trio, that triangle of madness. I think it works really well for her. And really just the intensity and the interactions with Charlie Thez. I felt like this match was really awesome. I like both ladies. They really brought it. Really could have gone either way, but Jamie Hayter was able to put away Thekla with that Haterade, that lariat, that short arm lariat, and then pinned her for the 1-2-3. Jamie Hayter, you're a winner in a hard-fought singles match against Thekla. But like I said, kudos to both ladies, and just I'm thankful that they gave these ladies at least 15 minutes. I mean, gave them 15 and a half minutes. No complaints there. Alrighty, let's go to the next match. And I have to say, this next match definitely went hard. Check it out. Alrighty, we had a special tag team match where the winning team would inherit $50,000, or not $50,000, $500,000. And it came down to the Young Bucks, of course, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, taking on the not too long ago reunited Jurassic Express of Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. This was an excellent match that definitely went the distance, especially so early in the card. This match was a little over 23 minutes long, and these are two teams that have a lot of chemistry with each other. I mean, they go way back. I mean, you got to remember both are former AEW World Tag Team Champions. I mean, they go way back. They go way back. So, in all honesty, just seeing these two teams go at it the way they did really was just spot on point. Very physical. And, you know, Luchasaurus, Jack Perry haven't lost a step in their chemistry. But this was a phenomenal tag match. But when it was all said and done, it would be Jurassic Express to get the victory as Jack Perry pinned Matt Jackson after hitting the double team finisher Countdown to Extinction. Jurassic Express are your winners of the $500,000 prize. Now, seemed like Jurassic Express was going to show some sportsmanship to the Young Bucks, and it even looked like Jack Perry was going to hand the bag of money to the Young Bucks, or at least give them some of the money. But then the Don Callis family showed up and attacked Jurassic Express. Kenny Omega came out because the Young Bucks left the ring. They exited the ring and they were about to leave. Kenny Omega comes out and is trying to get the Young Bucks to get back in there and help Jurassic Express. They don't. Kenny Omega charges in there to help out, and eventually Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express are able to fight everybody off. So, but at the end of the day, Jurassic Express are your winners. Alrighty. Let's go to this next match. So this one was actually updated a bit. So this wasn't just a regular trios match. Not only was this a tornado trios match, but this was to determine the #1 contenders to the AEW World Trios Championships, currently held by the Ops. So the showdown was between the Demand, which is Ricochet, Bishop Kaun, Toa Liona, versus the Hurt Syndicate, MVP Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley. This has been quite a rivalry between these two groups, and you know, they definitely work well together. Match was 13 minutes 28 seconds, so I mean it could have been a little bit longer, but still not that bad of a time. It was definitely a hard-hitting back and forth match, and man, had quite the finish. Bishop Kaun tried to take on the Hurt Syndicate himself at that last moment, and then Shelton Benjamin ended up pinning Bishop Kaun. He had the running knee attack in the corner, and then Bobby Lashley followed it up with a spear, and then Shelton Benjamin got the cover. And the Hurt Syndicate are your #1 contenders for the AEW World Trios Championships. So shout out to MVP Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley. They're going to get the Ops this upcoming Wednesday, actually. Alrighty. Let's go to the next match. Alright. Okay. This was for the TNT Championship. These two meeting each other one-on-one for the 5th time. The champion, Kyle Fletcher, the Protostar, defending against Mark Briscoe. Another matchup where these two have a lot of great chemistry. I mean, it definitely shows, considering that was their 5th singles match against each other. But almost went 25 minutes. It was only 24 minutes, 45 seconds, but still plenty of time for this match. Very physical, very much back and forth. Like I said, the chemistry between these two, magic. Pure magic. But when it was all said and done, and despite eating 3 froggy bows, would not be enough to put away Kyle Fletcher. And he even ate a J Driller as well. But Kyle Fletcher continues to show why he is a great singles wrestler and has been quite a great champion, as he was able to pin Mark Briscoe. I mean, he did hit a low blow first, but then he finished him off with that turnbuckle brainbuster and pinned him for the 1-2-3. Kyle Fletcher still your AEW TNT champion. Alrighty. Let's go to our next match. More championship matches. Alright, next up you have the AEW Women's World Championship on the line. As the champion, Kris Statlander defended against Timeless Toni Storm. Another strong, solid match on this card. Went 16 and a half minutes long, so not too bad. But yeah, both these ladies went back and forth, and there was even a moment where it seemed like Toni Storm was really starting to get the best of Kris Statlander. And it was close. It was definitely very close. And, Kris Statlander was also trying really, really hard to get a submission victory on Toni Storm, but that didn't end up happening. But Kris Statlander was able to defeat Toni Storm. She pinned her for the 1-2-3 after hitting a second Saturday Night Fever. Great sportsmanship afterwards. Mercedes Moné comes out to confront Kris Statlander. She ends up getting dropped by Kris Statlander. So it's like, shouldn't have been talking junk. You know what I mean? Shouldn't have tried anything, but yeah, it is what it is. But it has already been announced, or at least the challenge has been made. Mercedes Moné wants that AEW World Championship. Now, she's already tried for it once before, came up short. This was when Toni Storm had the belt. So, now it's a different title holder. Looks like that's something we'll be looking forward to. But, being that Mercedes was out there, which technically, let me correct myself. Mercedes came out after Statlander won and started stuff, which transitions to this next match. So I don't have the graphic for this one, but after Mercedes did her thing and, started some stuff with Kris Statlander, she held an open challenge for any champion to challenge her. She's putting up the TBS championship. And I know there have been a lot of speculation as who it could have been. I mean, some were thinking Athena, some were thinking Shuri, even some were thinking even Saya Kamitani. But it ended up, and I really freaking hate that it ended up being this. Oh boy. Mina Shirakawa answers the challenge. Who is the ROH, the interim ROH Women's World Television Champion. Yeah. Not to mention, these two have faced each other before, and Mercedes has gotten the best of Mina. Match went 16 minutes, 10 seconds. And Mina she came very close. It looked like she was going to take it. It really looked like she was going to take it, especially, kicking out of the moneymaker. Not submitting or anything like that to the statement maker, and just really bouncing back after everything Mercedes kept throwing at her. But it would take a backslide pin with Mercedes using with her feet on the ropes to put away Mina for the 1-2-3. And now Mercedes has added yet another title to her collection with the interim ROH Women's World Television Championship. A title she did not need, a title that really, is a placeholder, because remember, Red Velvet's the actual champ, but she's out due to the injury. And the whole idea now is that when Red Velvet comes back, those two are going to have to face each other to crown the real champ. But, okay, then after that, you know, Kris Statlander and whatnot, you know, drop Mercedes, and that pretty much led to Mercedes backstage issuing the challenge to Kris Statlander for that AEW World Women's Championship at Full Gear. At Full Gear, which will be in November. So, yeah. But it's interesting. But I think technically Mercedes officially has 10 or 11 championships, but physically has 12. Physically, that was her 12. But yeah, I just really feel bad for Mina Shirakawa, because that's twice that I know of that she's been screwed. Because you got to remember, going back to Stardom, you remember she won the Wonder Stardom Championship off Saya Kamitani. She had one defense, and then she lost it in a double title match against Tam Nakano. Fast forward to now, I mean, Mina was interim ROH Women's World Champion. She won that, or Women's Television Champion. She won that. She got in one defense, which I believe was against Lacey Lane, and then loses it to Mercedes. Like, it's just, I see a lot wrong with that picture. You know what I mean? I just see a lot wrong with that picture. But it is what it is. But Mercedes is going to have that shot. She's going to have that shot at Full Gear. So, it's whatever. It's just, I don't know. Y'all already know how I feel about that. Okay. Next match. This was an exciting one on so many levels. But you had the AEW World Tag Team Championships. As the champs, Brodido, that's Bandido and Brody King, defended against the Don Callis family of Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, and the Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita. Excellent match between both of these teams, and just really, I'm not surprised, especially considering, look, you remember the match that Takeshita had one-on-one for the ROH World Championship that he had with Bandido? I mean, that was match of the year candidate. So having them in a tag team match, honestly, I didn't expect any different. Match lasted 27 minutes, 26 seconds. Plenty of action. Brodido's chemistry has just really been on fire. It's been on fire. They've been doing an excellent job. And to be honest, I was very shocked at the ending. Very shocked at the ending. So, as Brody King took out Takeshita, with the running dive to the outside, Bandido ended up hitting a one-armed 21-plex on the Rainmaker, Okada, and he pinned him for the 1-2-3. That's right, Bandido pinned Okada for the 1-2-3. The current AEW Unified Champion. That's huge. That's huge. It's rare that Okada gets pinned, but it happened courtesy of Bandido. In tag team competition, but still, it was a tag title match. But Brodido, still your tag champs, and they did the Macarena afterwards. It's all cool. But, yeah, it's only a matter of time before things severely blow up between Takeshita and Okada. Just give it time. All right. Let's go to our next match. Here we go. All right, this was our last championship on the card. This is for the AEW World Championship. The champ, Hangman Adam Page, defending against Samoa Joe, who is a former champ himself. Match was pretty decent. Went just about a little over 19 minutes long, so we had a decent amount of time. Not as long as some of the others, but still, not bad for a world title match. It was definitely back and forth. I mean, even Samoa Joe had Hangman trapped in that coquina clutch. I mean, had it really good. So, great fighting spirit, great resiliency for Hangman Adam Page. And quite an interesting finish. Quite a very interesting finish, as it took not one, not two, but 3 buckshot lariats to Samoa Joe for Hangman to finally put him away for the 1, 2, 3. Hangman Adam Page, still your AEW World Champion. The other members of the Ops come in, and Samoa Joe showed sportsmanship. And then he clotheslined Hangman Adam Page, and then the Ops just beat him down. Just stomp on him, just beat him down. Samoa Joe hits Hangman with the title belt. So, well, the Ops have turned heel. So, but they got Wednesday to worry about as they're gonna be challenging they're gonna be defending the AEW World Trios Championships against the Hurt Syndicate. Alrighty, and then the main event of WrestleDream 2025 comes down to this. An I Quit match between Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. Oh, man. Shoot. Where do I begin? I mean, match lasted almost 26 minutes, but there were a couple of spots in there that just really, really wasn't necessary. I mean, the spraying of, lighter fluid into the eyes. I just think it was unnecessary. The drowning, Mox trying to drown Darby Allin in the aquarium tank. A lot of that was just really ridiculous and really uncalled for. Ridiculous and uncalled for. But, I mean, not to mention, not much bleeding in this match. It was kind of a surprise. Not really much on the bloody side for this match. I was kind of surprised. Usually Jon Mox, he's usually always bleeding, but not this time. It was crazy. And of course, the other members of the Death Riders were there. Marina Shafir was there the whole time, and just Darby Allin was at a numbers disadvantage. But a certain special someone, a very special someone, somebody that he knows quite well, especially considering they were tag team champions, Sting returns to even the odds and take out the other members of the Death Riders, and even captured Marina Shafir to take her to the back. And then Darby pretty much got his second win, and was able to not only drop Jon Moxley with a Scorpion Death Drop, not only hit him with a Coffin Drop, but was able to lock in the Scorpion Death Lock. And Jon Moxley said, "I quit." Rather quickly. Rather quickly. And there you have it. Darby Allin, your winner over Jon Moxley. Overall, pretty solid show. Pretty solid show. I felt like the matches got plenty of time. Really got plenty of time across the board. I felt like time management was pretty solid with this show. So yeah, I actually enjoyed AEW WrestleDream 2025. This was a good one. I enjoyed this one. This was a pretty solid pay-per-view. Oh, there is one piece of news. One piece of news that I definitely want to mention. Here we go. Actually, two pieces of news. Just want to reiterate that I will be, yours truly, Blitzball Champ, will be attending AEW Blood and Guts in Greensboro, North Carolina, November 12th. Looking forward to that. I'll be going to that with a couple of friends. Should be really good. And then, the other piece of news. Check it out. Alrighty. So, this Wednesday, on the 22nd, AEW Dynamite, they will reveal the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament bracket. That's right. I know it was a little while ago that the creation of these titles were announced, and now they are getting geared up to reveal the bracket. Now, the way I see it, I'm very curious to see how many teams they're actually going to have for this tournament. If it's something like 4, that'll be kind of a disappointment. But if they can at least get a good 8 or just a really good, decent handful of tag teams, kind of almost like what they did before, long time ago, I think during their first or second year in existence. I do believe, I got a good feeling that we're going to see teams like Megan Bain, Penelope Ford. We're going to see teams like, probably Sky Blue Julia Hart. I could see that being a team. I could see Mina Shirakawa, Toni Storm. After the segment they had backstage, I think Mina Shirakawa, Toni Storm could be an announced team. In a perfect world, I would love for Hikaru Shida and Shuri to be in this tournament, but I'm just wishful thinking. But we'll see. I'm just very curious to see what kind of teams and how many teams that they have planned for this. But we'll see what happens. But that'll do it for this video. Let me know what y'all thought of AEW WrestleDream 2025. Did you like it? What were your favorite matches? And what do you think the teams, the women's tag teams, will be revealed for this tournament? And how many do you think there'll be in this tournament? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. A quick thing, I'm going to be a little bit delayed in my reviews for, because I got quite a handful coming up. I will be reviewing TJPW Additional Attack 25, so bear with me on that. Marvelous Senka's Homecoming Show. I'm going to review that. Starlight Kids 10th Anniversary Show. Going to review that. And yeah. So just bear with me a bit. Like I said, I just finished catching up. Now it's just getting the rest of the reviews out. But look forward to those reviews very, very soon. But anyway, thank y'all so much for your patience and understanding for another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. My name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, and I'm about to go pass out. Well, at least after uploading these videos, but I'm about to pass out. Peace. Love y'all.